Yep. Okay, a very good morning to all of you participants. Thanks for your interest to today's launch event of the Vistage Asia Marketplace. My name is Raymond and I'm representing Vistage Malaysia and Singapore to host you today. Before we begin, as usual, let's go through some housekeeping items. Okay, during the event, all participants will be in listening mode, as you already know. So you will not be able to unmute your mic. If you have any questions or general comments, use the chat pane. If you would like to submit questions relating to the topic or to the presenters, use the Q&A pane. So you'll find the Q&A button in your Zoom control panel and also the chat button in your Zoom control panel. Before we begin, I would also like to advise you, I will inform everyone in advance, but before we begin some slideshows, I would advise all of you to actually lower your volume because, well, when the music comes on, it can get really loud. So to make it easier on your ears, I will tell you when we're going to play a slideshow and I'll tell you to put your volume down. I would also like to apologize in advance. We were doing some trials earlier, and I think today, you know, as with a lot of days, I think the internet traffic is pretty heavy. So on Zoom, when we're trying to present, you know, some slideshows, some audio, some animation, it can some lag may occur. So I would like to apologize in advance if you're not getting the full experience that we intend to give you, but I think you get the idea from our slides, and then you know, when you actually go into the marketplace platform to try yourself, I think you get a better experience then. Okay, moving on. Okay, this is today's agenda. We just went through housekeeping. Next, we would have welcoming remarks by our founder and chief listener, and then we're going to have some sharing by our strategic partner for the marketplace platform. Following that, we're going to do the actual launch of the Vistage Asia Marketplace. After the launch, we will have a bit of a Q&A just to answer some general questions. More technical questions obviously will come when we conduct the training session for the marketplace. After the Q&A, we'll have we'll let you know about what are the upcoming webinars, and after that, at 12 noon, we'll close the event. Okay, without further ado, let me welcome our founder and chief listener, Mr. Richard Wong, to give the welcome remarks for today. Richard, over to you.
Thank you, Raymond. A very good Monday morning. Ciao An, selamat pagi. When the MCO was announced on 16th of March to take effect on the 18th of March, Vistage called all chair town hall meet on 24th and 25th of March because with 50 over chairs that could not meet on one day to discuss our strategic footprint ahead for this MCO. Now, in addition to the 4 pillars of Vistage model, which has proven time and time again since 1957 that it works and will deliver an ROI many times more than your time and membership fees. The only requirement of you is to be engaged in the 4 pillars of the Vistage model. Now, at that town hall meeting, we also said that beside the proven 4 pillars of the Vistage model, Vistage will host additional value-add webinars on topics that are relevant to the times. On the same day, I also announced that we explore launching a marketplace for business matching among members in Malaysia and Singapore, hopefully within the MCO period. Now today is exactly 33 days to the day when I announced the intention to our official launch. Thank you, Raymond, Shireen, and our strategic partner, Everest, working very hard to accelerate the launch for today. Now, Everest also worked with Samantha and under the DG of Samantha, that is Yo Sing-hu, who is the chair. Sing-hu, thank you for recommending Everest to be one of the partners to explore. And finally, of course, we decided to work with Everest. Incidentally, from the second quarter Vistage MER CEO conference, we asked members, what would be the 3 top things that you need to work on during and post MCO? Guess what? The 3 items would be change of business model, including the digital technology, and 2, move quickly to e-commerce. And thirdly, stricter credit control. I say the timely launch of this marketplace aligns to the needs of our majority members. With that, I will not read through the purpose of the marketplace, really the matching. In addition, we want to then reach out to Asia Pacific, China, Australia, New Zealand. As it's proven, we will extend it to the Vistage partner countries around the world. Back to you, Raymond.
Thank you, Richard. Okay, now we will have sharing by our strategic partner, Everest, and representing Everest is Miss Pamela Poe. Pamela?
All right.
The floor is yours.
Yes. Hi, good morning, everyone. Nice meeting all of you here. I'm Pamela, a co-founder of Everest. Can all of you see my screen right now?
Yes, yes.
Yes, we can, Pam.
All right, sure. Hold on a moment, yeah. I'm turning on the slideshow. All right, just a quick sharing about what Everest is about, who we are and what we do. We are Malaysia's local B2B marketplace, focused mainly for Malaysia companies to promote their products and services online. So if you look at this world map, you can see that B2B marketplace concept has been well adopted across the world. For example, even countries in Southeast Asia like Indonesia, Thailand, India are all having their own local B2B marketplace to serve the local ecosystem. While we may have only known about China, but worldwide, the local B2B marketplace concept is growing in popularity. This is why we founded Everest to serve the Malaysian local ecosystem. So just a bit of background information about Everest. The platform was launched in Q4 of 2018, and within the same month, MDEC awarded us as the SME e-commerce adoption partner. And within 3 months later, we got funded by angel investors through the ECF equity crowdfunding. And since then, we have been recording strong quarter-to-quarter growth in terms of like double or triple from quarter to quarter. These are our co-founders. Kevin is our technical development manager. He has 21 years experience in IC design, programming, apps, and web development. Xavier is also our technical development manager. He has 14 years experience in digital marketing, apps, and web development. He has also been awarded as one of the top 100 most influential young entrepreneurs in 2019. I'm Pamela, Business Development Manager of Everest. I have 13 years experience in business transformation consultancy, focusing in supply chain, finance, and IT solutions. So Everest currently have offices in Penang and KL, and we have users across all states in Malaysia. Our sellers come from almost all states with the exception of Sabah, Kelantan, and Terengganu. And currently we are in partnership with Samantha, Vistage, MDEC, and we have 2 more trade organizations coming in. Just a snapshot of what we achieved over the past 13 months. 80% of our sellers on average testify that they get businesses through our platform. We currently have more than 300 sellers on our platform. We have processed more than 9,000 inquiries, having more than 12,000 products listed on the platform across more than 30 industries. These are some of the categories and industries that our sellers are operating in. So just to share some testimonials from our sellers, we asked them to rate how effective our platform was, and this is what they rated us. And I know that the society, we always have the perception that e-commerce is only for small consumer items. So I'm sharing these success stories to actually open up your mind on e-commerce, so that we don't always think that e-commerce is only for clothing, shoes, or food. But as you can see here, one of our sellers, he managed to sell a wheel loader through our platform. This is only one of his success story that he shared with us, but he did get a lot of good leads that turned out to sales. This is another seller of ours. He is selling automation machines. Yuki Food Technology, he's selling automation machines for the food manufacturing industry. He also recently sold a food packaging machine through our platform. Like QL Poultry Farms, they sold tons and tons of fertilizer through our platform. And Peter is a seller of irrigation supplies. So before I end my sharing, I'd like to share with you all this MDEX grant that is announced under the 2020 budget. Everest have been appointed as one of the technology service provider in this space. So any companies or SMEs who subscribe to our service is actually entitled to claim a 5,000 ringgit grant from this digitalization initiative. So apart from Everest Marketplace, we also provide other services such as corporate personalized website or online web store, digital marketing, corporate or video marketing video, and also apps development. That's the end of my sharing. So if you're interested in any of the above services, feel free to leave us your contact by scanning on this QR code. That's all I have for today. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Pam. Thank you for your sharing.
Thanks.
Back to the main show. That was our strategic partner, Everest. And yeah, I would like to again thank Everest for their quick turnaround. I mean, I think it's no easy feat to bring this platform up in just under 3 weeks. Okay, before we proceed on to the launch of the main event, Asia Marketplace, I would like to advise all of you to maybe turn your PC or your device volume down to about 30%, because I'm told when I was presenting it earlier during the trials that the music can be a bit too loud, so we don't want to hurt your ears. So at this point, you can turn it down a little bit. And again, I do apologize in advance if you're not getting a good experience when we're playing the slideshow. Okay, without further ado, let's get on with the show.
Tonight, I just wanna take you away. Throw your hands up in the sky. Let's set this party alright. Players, put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do? they know as soon as we walk in. I'm wearing Cuban links, designer mix, Inglewood's finest shoes. Don't look too hard, might hurt yourself. Known to give the color red the blues. Woo, shit. I'm a dangerous man with some money in my pocket. Keep up. So many pretty girls around me and they're waking up the rocket. Keep up. Why you mad? Fix your face. Ain't my fault they all be jacking. Keep up. Players only. Come on. Put your pinky rings up to the moon.
Okay, and with that, our Vistage Asia Marketplace platform is now officially launched. I know some of you are finding it a bit hard to see. Okay, our next segment is pretty much to go through at a high level what you can expect to do with the platform. So without further ado, let me just go to the next slide. Okay, pretty much to get started with the Vistage Asia Marketplace platform, you will need to register yourself. So when you go into vistageasiamarketplace.com, you will see this window or this box that says login as a member. So that's what you will click on. When you click on login as a member, you will get this screen. And this is where, if you have not logged in before, which all of you will not have, you click on, you look at the register account pane and click on continue, at which point you will be asked to fill a registration form. I mean, you don't need to see it in details, but I think as I'm talking about it, you get a sense of what to do. So go into vistageasiamarketplace.com, click on login as a member, and then if you don't already have a login, click on register and then fill in the registration form. So what happens with the registration form is once you filled it out, it will come to us, and then we will vet the details, make sure, yes, you're a member, you know, it's the right company, and within 24 hours, we would have approved it. You would receive an email saying that, okay, your account has been approved as a seller. So in terms of registration process, it's as simple as that. Pam, anytime you want to jump in, feel free to jump in.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and once you register and you've gotten your account approved, when you log in, it's I mean, based on my, you know, even a short experience just creating these profiles. Okay, sorry. Earlier you saw those 10 banners that came, you know, that were displayed during the slideshow. These are the 10 companies that have pre-listed on our marketplace. So that's why they were showcased earlier. With those profiles, I think once I've sort of played around with it and know where all the fields are, what they do, I think it was just about a 10-minute process to set up the profile, right? And the editor in this marketplace platform makes it very easy to, you know, input your text, images, like even for your profile, if you would like to insert or embed videos, you can do it pretty easily. Okay, I won't go through in detail. So if you look at the profile page, generally there's you will see 5 tabs. Obviously, we want other members to know you, so there is a member profile tab, which you put your profile in, and then the company profile is where you put your company's profile. You can put your corporate video, insert a corporate video in there, and products is of course where you set up the products that you want to be listed to be sold. Okay, any of you who have questions, feel free to type it into the Q&A box. We'll address it at the end of this walkthrough. Okay, so that's profile, very easy. Okay, with your products and services, at the moment with the platform, what is allowed is for all transactions will only go up to the request for quote level. And at this current point in time, the add to cart and the actual checkout with payment option is not enabled. But surely in time, when we have enough demand and you guys as users demand to have that ability to complete the transaction online on the platform, then that is something that we will switch on in future. But at this point, what you can do is any buyer who's interested in your product or service, they click on request for quote, and then it will start an internal chat process between the buyer and the seller in the platform. And you can always put a range of price if you want to, or you can leave it as blank. Okay, in terms of uploading your products and services, the details, I mean, I found it generally quite easy. It's very easy to attach, very easy to attach images. And I think the platform to a certain extent also allows you, in the editor, also allows you to insert HTML code. I'm sure not to a very complex level, but if you wanted it to look similar to how you have your web page with your product on it, I think you can try to even paste the HTML code into the editor. Not sure if it's complicated, I'm not sure it'll work, but you can try that. But otherwise, just inserting images, formatting it, like a Word document, inserting your catalogs, inserting your flyers, inserting your product video. I found that it was all pretty simple to do. Some things like embedding video, you probably need some hints and tips from the instructor during the training, but nothing complicated. Okay, moving on. Okay, like I mentioned earlier, transactions will only go up to the request for quote level. So what you can do is there's two ways. You can communicate between the buyer and seller. You can communicate through the request for quote internal chat system. So all your correspondence with each other will all be recorded in the system, and it makes it easier if, let's say, a staff who's handling your marketplace is replaced or change roles, someone else comes in, at least he has a record of all the communications within the platform. But of course, if you would prefer to do it completely offline, you can always look at the seller details at the site, click on contact seller. What happens is the system would actually email the seller, and then the seller will be able to email you direct. So if you use this contact seller function, all your correspondence for the product or the service will happen offline, totally offline. If you use the request for quote button, then that quotation process will be recorded and it will be handled by the system. Okay, and here is just a sample. This window here is just a sample of, okay, when there's a correspondence, when you use the internal request for quote chat system, how does it appear? So you see all the correspondence there. Actually, okay. I think at a high level, that's all I want to go through, because I think most of the interesting things or questions that you have would come when you actually go on the system and use it hands-on. But just talking about training, our first training for the marketplace will happen for sellers will happen on 29th of April, this Wednesday, 10 to 11:30 a.m. The next available training date is on 8th of May, which is a Friday, 5 to 6:30 p.m. Duration for each of these training is 90 minutes, including Q&A. So this will cover how you create your profile, how do you set up your products, how do you sort them a certain way, how do you make sure all the keywords are entered correctly so that people can search and find you, all those technical details. And okay, so in terms of the training, what will happen is we will be sending out the training workshop registration links to all members, so you can register. If you want, you can register for either the 29th of April session or the 8th of May session. Yeah, but you do have to register for the session. And all those who submitted expression of interest when we sent out the communication on the marketplace, I think about a week or two earlier, you will be automatically pre-registered for the 29th of April session. So all those who expressed interest earlier through Microsoft Forms submitted to us, you are already pre-registered for the 29th of April session, so you don't have to register again. If you would like to cancel, you will receive an email. I think you will receive a confirmation email for the 29th of April session. If you would like to cancel your participation in that session, you can cancel it through that email that will be sent to you. So just to be clear, those who have not expressed interest earlier, you do have to explicitly register for these either one of these training dates. Those who express interest earlier to us, you do not have to register. You are already pre-registered for the 29th of April session. A communication will be sent out to you. Okay, and before the training sessions, we would like to advise or encourage all of you to please register for a marketplace account prior to attending the session. So this is not the same as registering for the training workshop. This is to actually go on VistageAsiaMarketplace.com and register for an account. So you need to do that before the training, so you can go through the training hands-on. And do note that there will be a lead time for registration approvals. So of course, we will try to approve everyone's account registration request as fast as we can, but do note that it might take up to 24 hours if there's a lot of registrations coming in, where we have to vet and make sure that it's the right member and the right company. Okay, I think that's all I want to cover in terms of training.